THYMESIA is a 2022 action RPG of the Souls-like genre. Combat is very fast-paced. It really could use a map. And even the common enemies and mini-bosses are challenging, especially when they unfairly gang up on you. The unique mechanic in this game is the wound system. You use a weapon to cause wounds, which deplete the enemy's health bar, which shows a blue color. But then you have to fortify the wounds by attacking with the claw, or the wound will eventually heal after a few seconds. So the game requires you to be aggressive. Like all Souls games, the draw is the bosses. All of the bosses in THYMESIA pose a challenge. Here are the 8 THYMESIA bosses ranked by difficulty. Spoilers ahead! Number 8. Sound of the Abyss. The quote-unquote easiest boss in THYMESIA is this flower worm hybrid thing in a cave. It drops stalactites, which are telegraphed by the red circles, which is probably the easiest attack to dodge in the game, including from common enemies. As long as you have some healing potions, you should be fine with one or a few attempts to get the pattern down. When the worm attacks the platform, you just have to whack away at the orange weak spots. The only real challenge is when the worm lands on the other side of the platform, you don't have time to run to the weak spot, and you have to wait for another cycle. But eventually, you can wear this boss down pretty quick, as long as you get a few chances at the weak spots. Number 7. The Hanged Queen. This next boss is a giant bat. It takes place in a library which clearly has plumbing issues. Like all of these bosses, you have to get a feel for the timing of the attacks. What puts this boss only at number 7 is that the fight is not too high speed. The bat can do big damage if you miss your parries, but you can essentially beat her by having a slugfest in her face. As long as you can block a fair percentage of attacks, the wound meter will steadily deplete. She will try to health recover from time to time, but it's such a small amount, it's really not that noticeable. Number 6. Varg. This is the big knight in the third main mission. His sword attacks can pack a big punch if you are not careful. However, what makes him a little easier than some of the other bosses is that he is visually easy to discern during the fight. His big sword is easy to see, so his attacks are a little easier to telegraph and parry, and the timing is just about the same for every one of his swings, so you can get into a rhythm. If you miss a couple parries in a row, he can deplete your health in a second. But basically, he is a classic ARPG boss, a knight with a big sword. Number 5. The God of Fools. This boss with the unflattering name is probably the most unique boss in that it only takes one hit to kill him. The problem is, the arena is set up as a long gauntlet that you have to get through, so you can get in position for the kill shot. It really helps to have the feather upgrade for this, because there are several big plague spores that you have to burst or you'll suffocate trying to get through the smoke. The spores take 6 hits and you have to be fast, because the big fool will be swinging his arm or breathing bad breath on you if you hesitate. You will eventually learn to just run past most of the enemies once you learn the safe spots. The hardest part is this mini-boss acrobat lady with the heavy armor. She is difficult to run past because you have to climb the ladder in back, and she can hit you with daggers from long range and knock you down before you have a chance. Once she is defeated, it's an easy route to the final blow. Number 4. Mutated Odoer. Our next boss is the mutated version of Odoer, as the name suggests. What makes him especially hard is trying to determine which part of his body or tentacles are the thing you need to focus on to time your parries. He's like a big flailing squid with several movesets. He has the Spinorama, Tentacle Attack, Whirlwind Thing, and a few other moves. So it can take some patience to get the fight down if you aren't a Souls veteran, but eventually muscle memory and understanding which part of him to parry will lead you to victory. Number 3. Corvus. The main character in this game is Corvus, and the final boss is also Corvus. This is another classic boss fight type, the doppelganger. In THYMESIA, you can carry one or two special weapons called plague weapons. What makes boss Corvus especially difficult is that he can use several different plague weapons in this fight against you, all which have a different parry patterns, so you have to be very quick to identify the weapon and then unleash the right sequence of deflections. As if that's not difficult enough, this fight has the dreaded second phase, which is essentially the same, but he is more aggressive, so it's hard to get in a healing potion. One benefit you get in this fight is that the plague weapons glow blue, so they are at least easy to see. But dodging them consistently is a different story. Number 2. Urd. This aggressive lady is probably the most relentless boss in the game. She has 3 or 4 main attacks, but they are extremely fast and you have to maintain sharp concentration for the whole fight. There is very little opportunity to get in a healing because of her aggression, so it can help to equip the fast healing potions for this fight. She also jumps back after attacking you, and if you aren't dashing at her aggressively, you'll be swinging at the air when she's already gone. This fight also has a dreaded second phase, and she will more frequently string attacks with no break in between. If you can parry well, you will drain her wound bar quickly, because multiple parries cause big wounds. You have to be fast enough to dash at her to lock in those wounds while going on the defensive as soon as she attacks again, which will come in a few milliseconds. Number 1. Odur. This guy is some kind of circus ringmaster, but there is no time for clowning around in this fight. What puts Odur at number 1 is that he is the first boss in the game. New and average players will likely not have the timing or comfort with the mechanics yet. And along comes this guy with short range, long range, teleporting, sneaky kicks, dodging away, you name it, all which can kill you if you blink. And his hat never falls off. Like some other bosses, he has the dreaded second phase. In his second phase, the game introduces the red glow attack, which requires a perfect dodge or running really far away, otherwise it will likely one hit kill you unless you have very high health. But finally, once you learn all his dirty tricks and master the timing, you will spot his move tells and can close the curtain on his clown show. And the good news is, once you defeat Odur, since he is the first boss, it's all downhill from there, with the 7 other bosses only slightly less difficult, sometimes simply because you will be more powered up at that point in the game. And there you go, ranking the 8 most difficult bosses in THYMESIA. Thank you for watching, always pursue the truth.